In 2017, a college student named Timothy Piazza passed away at a Beta Theta Pi fraternity party at Penn State due to hazing. He was forced to drink lethal amounts of alcohol and both repeatedly laughed at and ignored as he fell down a flight of stairs, rupturing his spleen and fracturing his skull. He, along with hundreds of other students across the country, have suffered similar fates as a result of hazing gone way, way too far. According to Hank Newer, the professor of journalism at Franklin College, extreme hazing has been a prevalent issue since all the way back into the 1800s, and it has shown no sign of slowing down or stopping. So over the past few weeks, I've done extensive research on hazing-related injuries and deaths, and I've been shocked by the reality of how many hazing-related incidents go either underreported or unresolved. And I figured, as college students, we are surrounded by fraternities and sororities and other organizations, and since we most likely interact with people who have been affected by hazing in some way, it is our responsibility to understand what hazing is, how it affects people, and what can be done to stop it from going too far. And that is exactly what I'll be discussing today. So what is hazing? The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines hazing as an act of initiation involving harassment. So at its core definition, hazing is designed to harass and humiliate people into conforming to the social climate of whatever organization they're involving themselves in. And though not every, fraternity and sorority or organization does this, a large enough number of them do as to where it has become a massive problem. According to hazingprevention.org, hazing is any action taken or any situation created intentionally that causes embarrassment, harassment, or ridicule and risks emotional and or physical harm regardless of a person's willingness to participate. So oftentimes, hazing is painted in a way where it's meant to teach loyalty and respect, and where if you do, this and this and this, then you'll finally earn the respect of your peers, and you'll finally be a full-fledged member of whatever community you're initiating yourself into. And it's exactly that light that leads to hazing being grossly unreported and underregulated. In fact, in a study conducted by the University of Maine, 95% of students didn't report their hazing to campus officials whatsoever. 36% said that they wouldn't report it because there's no one to tell, and 27% felt that adults just wouldn't handle it right. And these numbers are a direct result of hazing being so intricately linked to humiliation, because students just don't feel like there's a safe place to come forward and report what they've gone through because they feel like they will be even further humiliated by the act of reporting it. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There are a vast number of groups and organizations that have come together in order to combat hazing and stop it at its source. For example, the Anti-Hazing Coalition is an organization formed by multiple different groups of people with the sole purpose of education and awareness of hazing and promoting legal change. It is a group comprised of a lot of parents of students who have suffered hazing-related incidences, including the parents of the aforementioned Timothy Piazza. And according to StopHazing.org, 44 out of the 50 states in the U.S. already have hazing-related legislation, penalties including suspension, expulsion, misdemeanor charges, and felony charges. And though most states already have some form of hazing-related legislation, it is the goal of the Anti-Hazing Coalition to go one step further and to ensure that those laws can actually be enacted by promoting awareness and education of hazing so that students feel safe in reporting what they have gone through. And so I can edit this. So though most states already have legislation, and even through this, there are still things that need to be done and things that we as students at UNI can do to ensure that hazing stops completely. And though these things are already being done, there are still countless things that we as students at UNI can do to stop the curve of hazing. So one of the goals of the Anti-Hazing Coalition is to push for a federal law to be passed called the Educational Notification and Disclosure of Actions Risking Loss of Life, or End All Hazing Act. This act would mandate that public universities create a website that details the actions of each student organization concerning hazing and the penalties associated with each of them. their goal is also to go from university to university or school to school or institution to institution and spread awareness of hazing and push that universities take accountability for the actions of their students and consciously create an environment where students feel like they can come forward and report any incidences that occur so that these legislations can be put into use to ensure that justice is made. And as students at UNI, we are incredibly lucky to attend a school that cares so much about our safety and our health, and that consciously creates environments where we can safely come forward about things. But it is also our job to keep pushing UNI and to keep pushing any other organizations that we're involved in to create spaces where students can come forward and feel safe. And we can also, within our groups of friends and within whatever organizations that we're personally involved in, we can consciously create spaces where they can feel like they're safe to talk to us and come forward about anything that they experience, so that we can then go to other authorities and take it up to a level where justice can be served. So in the end, hazing is a horribly rampant issue that is prevalent across the country, but there are still actions that are being taken to combat it and to fight it from its source so that students are no longer being affected as they are. There are so many people out there that care so much about students and who want to ensure that they have places to come forward. And I urge you to become one of those people who pushes for change and pushes for action to be taken so that we can create a safe and welcoming environment so that no one our age has to ever suffer from hazing alone. Thank you.